Perfectly excellent.
What's going on, party people? I was trying to think of something witty within the 30 seconds, like from in here to out there, but I got nothing. But how's it going? Welcome to episode 47. Yeah, it's going.
It's going. It went.
It went. The moment is gone. Sorry, I feel like I should do that again. I was trying to think. There's got to be something beyond party people that we can use to kind of kick things off. But,
how about? Yeah, I got nothing.
That's fine.
Good. I'm good with party people.
Yeah.
Apologies.
All right, party people. So how's it going, Tim?
There's all of this stuff popping up over on this side of the screen that I'm trying to figure out what it is and how to make it go away. They're trying to advertise new features, and I don't want new features. I have the old features.
You would think they would not do that while you were on a stream. Like that would be something they would do prior to the stream.
You know what? You'd think so, but I am not part of those meetings. I am part of lots of other meetings that have been driving me nuts this week.
No, I'm sorry. Are you meetinged out?
I'm a little meetinged out.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Did you get any of your time back this week? Did anyone?
Once I got some time back this week. Although the person who gave time back actually knows that it bothers me, and he does it a lot when I'm in the room just because he knows that it annoys me. Just like there are some people who like saying happy insert day here because they know that it bothers me. Because I mentioned it once, and now it's just like, ha, 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 happy Thursday, ha, ha, ha.
I don't know. I kind of like those people more now.
Yeah.
But
you would.
But it is Thursday. It feels like Friday because I was working from home today. Yeah. But I'm excited about the show today because we did a thing. I guess we did it last week. Has it been a week already? It
was last Thursday, yeah. We went out to go see the Mandalorian and the Grogu.
And, I guess it's been a week now, so it's okay for us to talk about it on the show. Like everyone's had a good opportunity to see it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And I know we've got a lot of things to say, or I think we've got things to say. I don't know where it's going to go. But before we do that,
should we do this?
We should do this.
Perfectly excellent.
Oh, broken. Broken. Cancel.
Nope.
Broken.
Chicken. Broken. What happens?
Nope, I don't know.
This is
the flashing buttons. The flashing buttons. All right.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back, and we have the combination. So I don't collect popcorn buckets. As we go into I do not. I might have some.
I see one from here.
Yeah, there's two back there, but I don't collect them.
Right, you don't collect anything.
I don't collect anything.
You're not a collector.
I am not a collector, but when they keep making things like this,
what is that?
I don't know what to do with myself. This is a Protocol Droid head popcorn bucket. So. And it took me a while to figure out like how you even are supposed to open this to put popcorn in. I was like I was pushing all the buttons on the back
the neck, right? Like you hang it upside down?
Yes. How did you know that?
Because of the strap.
Yes. That was it. Oh. So I guess you kind of just walk around like this, and then this opens somehow, and you could just, where's the hinge? Let me see. You just eat your popcorn.
Yeah, you don't look even a little bit like a chooch right now.
No. But we're gonna take these straps off, and this is just gonna go right on the shelf. Because this is just too ridiculous of a thing. Like what? Like I don't even know what to say about the popcorn bucket industry, and maybe we should talk about it a little bit when we get into the movie because there were buckets there.
Yeah, there were There was merchandising.
Yes. But I love this. This is just so random and ridiculous, and it'll go back there with the rest of the droids. Or maybe it'll go with the Jawas, just kind of like on its side. But I don't know if you've ever wanted to eat popcorn out of a protocol droid's head, like 2026 is your year.
I have
take your time, soak it in.
It's not even C-3PO. It's just like a random one with extraordinarily large eyebrows.
Maybe it's the Ichuda guy. Yes, I guess holds more popcorn that way.
Boy,
it's got this thing too.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Is that how you put butter on it?
Possibly, but Ichuda, if ever, right? How does it open again? Ah, there we go. All the popcorn you could fit. They're so weird now. Like it's just gotten like kind of unhinged at this point with what they consider popcorn buckets. But yeah, I'm psyched to have it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's just ridiculous. Maybe I should have taken it to the movies. I could have brought it when we went to see The Mandalorian. I could have eaten my popcorn out of it, but I wasn't thinking right. So you want to look? You seem like you want to soak it in some more. Here.
So right, yeah, okay, yeah.
2 eye modes. You have flashing and you have on. Any questions? Do you have any questions about it, perhaps?
No, I think most people will probably have turned off the video at this point.
No. Everybody loves a good droid popcorn bucket. So yes, I don't know. I don't want to say I collect popcorn buckets, but when they're so weird like this, I couldn't resist buying a droid's head, a cheap droid's head. So there we go. All done. Why don't you do the thing?
That thing?
That's the thing. There we go.
Okay. Gosh, I don't know exactly how to follow that one up. Other than to say that the item that I get to show is checking something off of my Grail list that we went over a few months ago.
You're not going to have much left on that list soon. I'm impressed.
We're getting there, and this is one that I've been chasing for a bit. I was able to get to it through a couple of random connections. It kind of goes back down. Oh, and I got my Shop the Curiosity shirt that I was complaining that I didn't get, so I got one of those, and they just sent it to me. And that was very nice of them because I went to their website and I'm like, I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get the order to go in. So I messaged them and they just sent me one. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good on you. Curiosity.
Good folks Shop the Curiosity. I believe it was Nicole I was speaking with. So big ups. So I followed someone on Instagram. His username is VHS Crypt. And, he's a toy dealer, does some stuff. And he had posted that he was going to be at Shop the Curiosity, and I messaged him to ask him, if it was worth going, and I was telling him what I was looking for, and I was looking for one of these, and he referred me to this guy Ben, who is the guy who I bought the Skeletor sword from at Shop the Curiosity. Because Ben didn't have this other thing that I was looking for, but Ben's like, I know of a store in Buffalo that ended up with a box of them at some point a few years ago. You might want to reach out to them to see if they have any. So I got in touch with them.
And lo and behold, they had any. Hey, it's your Voltron sword. Look at that. On card.
Voltron sword on the card.
That's amazing. Did you think you would be able to get it in this condition? Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
No, I didn't think. And it ended up being cheaper than I figured I would have to pay for it on the card. So I got a pretty decent deal on it too. So I must thank VHS Crypt for the start of the process. I must thank Toys and Collectibles for Life for pointing me in the direction of that 80s toy shop, which is who came through and hooked me up with this. So I'm thrilled. That's like a big time want checked off the list. This is a big one because I had this sword when I was a kid, and me and my brother used to fight around with it all the time. The funny thing is like ours, the handle broke off at the bottom here, and this is hollow inside. So what we did is we had this like little wooden sword, and we stuck the wooden sword inside the spot there, so we still had a handle. But then it was also like covert because you could take it out, and it was like a separate dagger along with your other one. I will not be doing that to this one.
Like kids, you made it work.
We made it work, but I am.
I
just
feel like you
really
should have
excited.
Yeah, I want to see a dry erase board behind you with all your grails on it, so we can actually watch you like wipe them off as they come through, because you've been knocking them off at a good pace.
I've been doing okay. I got this. I got the Shogun Rodan. There's some other stuff that's brewing too that I'm working towards. So I think we'll have some more.
Do you have one of these on your list? Well, congrats. That's an awesome pickup.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it.
An amazing condition. And did they still have more? Did you inquire? Or was that
they had 4. They had 4.
And you only bought one?
They said this was the best conditioned one. The sticker on the center, the glue's a little dried on it, so it's peeling in a couple of places, but it still looks pretty good. And I'm debating whether or not to try to fix it or not. I probably won't. But
no. I mean, it's a lot to ask for glue for how many years to just kind of hang on there?
For 40. But yeah, apparently the last 4 were just in like their storage unit. So he I guess the guy took them out, and I think he brought them to some toy shows, and he assumes they're all going to be gone pretty soon.
Well, especially after you announced it on this show and where to find them. I can't imagine
that's where they are.
Last much longer.
That's where they are.
I think there'll be a big rush. Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a dynamite pickup. That is something I'm super surprised. But with that out of the way,
working on it.
Should we get?
I'm working on the list. The list is important. I'm prioritizing. I'm like, you go for the really, out with the old, in with the important. So I'm selling some records on Discogs as well. Which my username on Discogs is @TimPopKid. If anybody wants to go over there and look at the wares that I'm peddling, again, just to try to get the coffers up so I can get the really important things.
Got it. Where does this sword go? Does it have a place like picked out for it?
It's kind of. I think I know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to hang it up on the wall. I'm actually debating whether or not I want to buy like a cheap custom frame to put it in, but like without the glass, just like the wood part of the frame to like kind of keep it as nice as I can keep it. But I'm not positive about that because I'm wondering if I'll end up like squishing the cardboard on the sides if I try to cram it in something that it's not meant to be crammed into.
Got it. Are you planning on hitting your brother with it, or no? This one's going to stay as is.
I have plenty of things I can hit my brother with now. It doesn't have to be this.
Okay,
I've grown as a person.
You've definitely grown. That sword has not. Is it smaller than you remember, or is it just?
Actually, no. It's pretty big. So
okay.
I'm not. Like the Skeletor one. When I got that, I'm like, wow, this is smaller than I remember it being. Mm-hmm. This one's still. This is not a tiny thing. This is big.
It goes right off the frame. Look at that. Cool. Yeah, I just asked because remember, I think I talked about this on our last show when I picked this up. It was like, wow, like where is it? It was so small, but from 13-year-old hands to these giant man hands, I guess. Speaking of man hands,
yeah, Mandalorians.
That works. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right. I'm having all sorts of technical possibilities over here today. For some reason, I can't like scroll anything there, but let me try. Ready? Yeah.
Perfectly excellent.
We're going to talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu, but before
But
we do, we have to have a conversation.
okay,
We have to have a discussion
okay.
about a faux pas that happened when we went to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Am I aware of this faux pas?
Apparently not.
Okay, what was the? Go on, teach me a wise one about the faux pas.
So, you might have noticed that one of the pictures on there was of the Bavarian legend pretzel.
Correct.
Which you bought a Bavarian legend pretzel.
It's part of my movie-going experience these days. Yes.
You didn't finish it. You threw away a large portion of it.
Mm.
Yeah. At no point during said movie did you say, "Hey, Tim, would you like a piece of this gigantic pretzel that I will never be able to finish?"
Did I not? I thought I did at first.
No. You didn't.
I apologize.
So,
it was definitely up for sharing, but you did have a meal with you at the time, so
I did have a burrito with me, but,
yes.
but yeah.
So,
I'm just kind of like, wow. So no bite of no pretzel for me.
Oh no,
I don't get no Coke.
You did not get Coke. I apologize that you are always welcome. I apologize that I did not offer. Again, you did have a burrito with you, so you were kind of busy. You weren't empty-handed.
I was not empty. I had 2 burritos actually. So
I was not offered a burrito at any time. So
that's true. I did not offer you a bite of my burrito.
Which 2 on a burrito is weird, but I apologize. Yes, and that Bavaria did me in, so there was plenty to share. My bad. I'll get you next time. When I got it, I did ask if you wanted anything when I was buying food, and you said no.
No, I did not want another thing to add to my burrito as a purchase.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's okay. I'm just busting on your chops.
Yeah, I ate much of that Bavarian thing, but I don't know. That one might have been sitting for a while. I think I did you a favor by not offering it because I ate it out of I was hungry and I did not.
That's
yeah. Yeah, but it was not good.
While I was looking for a picture of it, I discovered that I believe it has something like 5,000 grams of sodium in it.
Yeah, and that explains a lot actually for why I was feeling pretty awful. But apologize
because you probably consumed about 3,500 of those grams.
It was dark. It was really hard to tell, and it was so greasy and oily, so that like I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And then I was running out of like napkins. It was just not a. It was fine last time I had one, but this time not so much.
Yeah. Well, let's transition into the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'd like for you to kind of handle the introductory part because I would have been fine talking about this movie as a smaller segment in an episode that had other things, but you wanted to do a longer one, so I wanted to know, why don't you tell the folks why you wanted to really tackle this at a larger level?
Before we do that, I want to say
I'm sorry I didn't share my burrito.
No, it's okay. That's all right. That was very brave of the burrito in the movies in the dark at a theater with no trays or anything. But do you know, as far as I can remember, the first Star Wars movie that you and I saw together was The Phantom Menace in 1999. No, we did not see that. We saw
you're wrong.
That. Oh,
we saw the special edition of the first Star Wars.
Oh, when was that?
97, I believe.
Okay, so then my count here is wrong because I had put The Mandalorian and Grogu was the 9th Star Wars movie that I could think of that we had seen together. But if we saw the special edition, I guess that makes it 10.
I think we saw Empire as well. I know we didn't see Return of the Jedi because I saw Return of the Jedi in Canada, but I know we saw Star Wars together. I'm pretty sure we also saw the special edition of Empire Strikes Back together as well.
Okay. Well, I started my count at that fateful evening when we waited outside AMC to get tickets for a showing of The Phantom Menace that did not sell out, which I think is still hilarious that happened.
Let's add a little more context to that. So about 2 weeks to a week before The Phantom Menace was released in theaters, you were given the opportunity to buy advance tickets, which in 1999 wasn't really something that happened that much. You used to just go to the movies and buy a general admission ticket.
Yep,
But
no assigned seats or anything, right?
Yeah.
It was
But
the dark times.
In this instance, you could buy a ticket in advance so that you could go to the first showing of The Phantom Menace. So they were putting the tickets on sale at something like 8 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday or something like that. So we went to the movie theater the night before at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening and stood on what turned out to be a rather long line of other dorks waiting to buy tickets to see The Phantom Menace.
And we were not the first people online.
We were not. We were like I think like the 6th or 7th people in line or something like that.
Yeah, and then so we bought tickets to a showing, waited overnight to buy the tickets, and the showing did not sell out.
And your brother still managed to see it before us because he saw like a midnight showing or something.
Yeah, with no waiting overnight, without pre-advanced tickets, he just went. Yeah, because we had like a 9 a.m. viewing, right? There was no midnight. Movies have changed a lot.
Yeah, they didn't really do midnight showings back then, which is why when your brother went to one and you told me about it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I just remember I came home and he had taped his ticket stub to the bathroom mirror like a jerk. Good times. Okay, so this is possibly our 10th or 11th Star Wars movie that we've seen in 30 years if we add on the special editions. That's pretty nuts.
Did we see all of the prequels together?
We must have. I can't imagine. We started down that path. We damn near probably finished it.
I have no memory of Revenge of the Sith.
And I just made a note here. Of these 10, 11 movies, going to see, I don't know. Yeah. Did we? I feel like I remember seeing one in New York, and I don't know why we would have seen it in New York. Do you have any recollection of that?
I feel like we saw. I think I saw Attack of the Clones in New York.
Yeah. Why on earth did that happen? Do you have any idea?
I worked in New York.
I remember that. So maybe I just met you or something. So weird. But I made a note that of those movies, not counting the special editions because they weren't on my list, some were not good.
Yeah, you could say that, or at least I didn't like some of them. I don't know if we can objectively say they weren't good, but they weren't our cup of tea.
Okay, yes. So I did not like. I have Phantom Menace. I have the prequels. I even put The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker on my list of ones I didn't particularly like. I thought some were okay.
I like the Last Jedi a lot. I hated the Rise of Skywalker. That kind of spoils the entire sequel trilogy for me. But I like the Last Jedi.
Yep. But I thought the Force Awakens and Solo were okay. I enjoyed those. Solo's definitely grown on me a lot since then. And then the only one that was great from those 30 years was Rogue One, in my book.
Yeah. That one's great. I really like The Force Awakens. So I think The Force Awakens is really strong.
Yep. Go ahead. Was there more?
Yeah, I really like The Force Awakens. I think The Force Awakens is really good. It's rough because the other movie. Well, I don't think Last Jedi does any damage to it, but I think Rise of Skywalker does a lot of damage to the entire sequel trilogy. But I still think that Force Awakens is good. And when we went to go see it, I loved it. Like when it was the only one of them, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I remember leaving the theater very, very excited about that. Like had a rip-roaring good time. Yeah. But, based on that, I'm curious to see where The Mandalorian stacks up after our conversation today. So we can come back to that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about more than just the movie. I wanted to talk about like everything that led us to this part with The Mandalorian, because the shows were great. They had some low points, but it's been a fun ride with Mando and Grogu up to this point. Wouldn't you say?
I would say it's been pretty fun for the most part.
All right. So did you have expectations going in to this movie? Was there something you were hoping to see or not see? Did you have concerns before the lights dimmed in the theater?
Did I have concerns? I don't know that I necessarily had concerns so much as I wasn't sure what we were going to be getting into, because I did as good a job as I could about just avoiding stuff about it, so I could kind of go in fresh. I watched the teaser trailer and I watched the first trailer, and that's it. I didn't really see anything else, so I didn't really know anything about the story. Although I guess I might argue that having seen it, I'm still not sure I know anything about the story. But I didn't know anything about it going in, so my expectations were kind of like, I don't expect this to be amazing, but based on what had come before it, I'm sure it's going to be fun, and I'm excited to go see it.
Cool. And it was definitely difficult to avoid whatever they were doing. Like you, I watched the teaser, I watched the trailer, but then I felt like everything I looked at was some Mandalorian, hey, go see the Mandalorian and Grogu. So it was really hard leading up to it to try to avoid that. Like you, I don't know that I had any expectations going in. I just wanted it to be fun. I needed a win, as I was telling you. Like, life's been a little tough lately. I just wanted to escape reality for a bit and have some good Star Warsing. I did start to get concerned as early rumblings were coming in that it was not good and people were disappointed with it. But I was still optimistic that no matter what, I was going to walk out and enjoy it. And I guess that kind of leads us to the crux of this. Where do you want to dive in? Do you want to
like recap the general plot of the movie and talk about some of the stuff? Or like, I know you had said to like try to put together a list of like the things we liked about it and the things we didn't like about it.
I mean,
I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to do just general thoughts about whether or not we each liked it at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, let's start there. Like, what's you had you needed time to process after we saw it.
I did.
And maybe it was the Bavarian pretzel that like I did not share that maybe tainted your thoughts at first.
Yeah, I didn't have the appropriate nutrition to process information.
You need more sodium. You needed whatever it was.
And in fact, as we were leaving the theater, I think at one point you asked me, "Are you okay?" Because like I just hadn't said anything because I was just thinking.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it. And what I absolutely do not want this episode to turn into is just me being sour about this, because like I really want, as much as possible, this show to be about celebrating the things that we like as opposed to tearing down the things that we don't like. But I've thought about it a lot, and I'll just say that I also found a way to give it an additional viewing, just to kind of put it in my head again before we talked, because you saw it a second time in the theater and you said you liked it even more the second time.
I did, yeah. So you and I went opening day on Thursday, and then I went back again on Friday with the family to see it. So
yeah. So I just really didn't like the movie. There were a lot of little things about it that I didn't like. There was this feeling to me that, I mean, that this is a movie that could have been an email.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why it was a movie. There were really no stakes involved in it at all. You don't need to know anything about what happened beforehand to watch it, which I think is to its detriment, not necessarily a positive. And I just kind of didn't understand the point. Like, nothing really happened. Like, in the grand scheme of things, in the larger Mandalorian story, in the larger post-Return of the Jedi Mandoverse, whatever you want to call that, this movie doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and you're not wrong at all. Like I thought about that too. When we saw it on Thursday, I don't think I was as down on it as you were, but I definitely was left disappointed. Like, it wasn't what I was hoping to have seen. There was there was nothing with the characters, nothing like, just like you said, nothing happened. The only change that the movie brought to Mando is he got a new Razor Crest. Like that was all that has changed really for him from beginning to end. And that was over within the first 5 minutes, I think, or something.
And he didn't get it in a particularly interesting way.
Yeah, and that's on one of the things I had on my dislikes. If we do have time to kind of poke at those a little bit more. So I was a little disappointed, the Thursday night when I went, having known that though, going to see it on Friday and just being like, hey, this is just basically a 2-hour long episode of The Mandalorian. Like I had a really good time. Like just watching some action, I thought it looked beautiful. There's a lot of great visuals in it. There's a lot of fun moments, and I enjoyed it more. When we left Thursday, I think both of us were saying like, yeah, I don't know that we need to watch this ever again. But after watching it Friday, I'm like, oh man, I enjoyed that. It was a good. I had popcorn on Friday versus the pretzel. So I think that changed. That helped, improve my opinion. So,
Dan, you got a lot of salt in you right now.
I do. Yes,
that's a lot of salt.
Yes.
When I watched it the second time, and which again, in all fairness, I did not watch a pristine version of it in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
All it really kind of did was reinforce the things that bugged me about it the first time.
Okay.
And
do you want to talk about some of those things?
Yeah. Do we want to just go through the general timeline of the movie, or do we want to focus on the broader things that we liked and didn't like?
We could. I mean, I don't want to like recap the whole movie, so let's talk about what you did like. As long as you've got some things we can end on things you did like. As long as there's some nuggets of joy in there.
I do have some things that I liked, but they were kind of small. I'm not going to be able to do like a 3 and 3 though, in order to have like an actual conversation about it. The main thing, the biggest problem for me was I absolutely hated the character Rada the Hutt. I didn't like the way that he looked. I didn't like the way that he was put into the story. I don't understand why every Hutt we've ever encountered talks like that, and he talks like he's from Cleveland.
He knows, what is it, Galactic Basic or whatever they call it? Common, I forget what they call it in Star Wars.
Like, I kind of don't get it. Like, what? Like, I guess you could sort of explain that, oh, he was taken away from the Hutts when he was a child, so he grew up with people who didn't speak like that, so he doesn't have an accent. That wasn't explained in any capacity. That's me trying to fill in the blanks. But I could not stand that he existed as just like someone talking whose only real dialogue contributions are, I'm different from my father and I'm going to be my own man.
Yeah.
Which,
and
again,
he did,
you brought up that was a weird thing for him to say, being that he was a Hutt.
Yeah. And he repeated that multiple times.
That's all he said. That's all he ever said. So
I didn't know that he was going to be such a big part of it. That was a big shock. I thought it was.
What do you call it? The MacGuffin? Like he is the MacGuffin. He is such an integral part of the movie that if you don't like him, it's pretty hard to like the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to be kind of like a Fight Club scene, Mando, faces down this giant Hutt. Like that would have been like cool. But no, he was a very like deep,
main character.
So surprise. All right, so that was I could see how if you didn't like that character, this movie is going to be tough.
Yeah,
he is central there.
One of the other things that I kind of referenced it before is I didn't like the sort of like low stakes hokiness of everything. Like the story is really kind of 2-dimensional, where it's like, we're going to work with the Hutts, but, I don't really want to work for the Hutts, but we got to go get this other hut so we can get to an Imperial guy. And then the hut within what Rada within minutes is like, oh, I know the Imperial guy. He's over there. Yeah. And then they're just like, oh, okay, well, let's go get him. And then they just get him. And then that is all done. So
this was on my list too.
The most interesting thing in the movie gets wrapped up in the span of about 3 minutes.
Yeah. And I have that on my list, that everything did feel too easy. And it felt very video gamey at time. Like, oh, go here. They're going to give you a quest to go there. And then you get that. And then you go back there. And like you said, low stakes, like just, oh, I know that guy. He happens to be living over there, which I thought was funny. Because if I was an Imperial officer trying to stay off the grid, I'd probably tell the stormtroopers, like, hey, just casual Fridays. Like, don't wear your armor around the house. Because that was a big dead giveaway.
Paint it green.
Yeah, or something. Just
or camouflage so they can't see you.
That was pretty funny. But yeah, it was like everything was all too easy, right? Like just kind of things fell into place.
Yeah. And then the I guess the other big one, if I'm gonna do like a big three, and I don't feel like that these three things really kind of get all of the reasons why I was disappointed in it, but I really did not like the music. I thought the music was I don't want to say bad, because most of it was from the TV show, aside from a couple of new things that sounded like they ripped it off of the Stranger Things soundtrack. But that music works for a TV show in a way that I do not think it works for a movie at all. It didn't feel like Star Wars to me, because it didn't have that lush orchestral soundtrack that also helps make the stakes seem more important, because it makes everything feel a little bit more epic. The Mandalorian music, just by its nature, is much more simplistic. It's not as lush. It involves a lot fewer instruments to do the melodies. And I feel like it makes everything feel kind of sparse in a way that's fine for TV, but was really stood out like a sore thumb to me as a movie.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that, because while there were recognizable themes, I did notice that one song that seemed to keep playing, like they used it just multiple times, and it didn't blend, right? It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a cinematic score that helped convey emotions. It was just weird a little bit. Very Walker.
But none of the music really, I don't think any of the music really worked that way. Even the stuff that like I'm intimately familiar with, because it's stuff they used during the TV show. I just don't think that works for a movie.
Yeah. I don't know that I like that registered with me. Again, it just registered that, like, man, this is the third time they've used this song in this movie. And that kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Yeah. But and then, like, again, I could go into lots of other things that are a little weird. Like the fact that I don't believe they ever say Din Djarin's name a single time in the movie, which seems odd.
But I think that's a weird thing from the show still, too, that there's other Mandalorians and they still call him the Mandalorian. But yes.
That's kind of weird. Yeah. The fact that there were opening credits were that was odd.
That was super odd.
Like that. Like, that's not something that at the end of the day is like a deal breaker for me. Like, that's not going to make me dislike a movie. But it was for a Star Wars movie, that's just strange to me. I have a bunch of notes here about some weird things, like the whole Djarik thing where they're reenacting the chess game. Like that was a little heavy-handed, I thought, as far as like being like, no, look, it's just like the thing on the Millennium Falcon in the first movie. Here, wait, let me emphasize that by having the monster body slam the other one, just so you know that it's the same thing. Plus,
when Easter eggs don't land, or like, fan service doesn't quite hit, right?
Yeah, but there was also already a Mandalorian episode where he was at like a Kumite sort of situation with the Gamorrean guards thing. So
You're right.
He's even been in this exact same scenario before, which seemed like, again, just seems like a weird thing. I thought that when he fights Rada the Hutt, and I thought, boy, he beat him pretty quick. Like that was not at all epic or triumphant. Now he is free to die.
Yes.
Like,
And I hated that everybody was cheering for that. First of all, it was all like regular people in the crowd. You notice it wasn't like there was no diversity in this place. I didn't see a lot of creatures. I'm always looking for creatures and droids, and this just looked like a lot of like they looked like they were downtrodden folks, but at something that was like a high stakes, like looked like a UFC kind of event. So I thought that was a little odd.
Yeah. There's also this will be jumping around a little bit. So the main plot of the movie is the New Republic sends the Mandalorian to the Hutts. Yes. Because the Hutts have information about an Imperial warlord that they are trying that the New Republic is trying to capture. The Hutts tell the Mandalorian, we need you to rescue our nephew who has been kidnapped. He's on this planet. The Mandalorian goes to the planet, eventually gets the Hutt and starts to bring him back to the other Hutts. Where Rada the Hutt says, if you bring me back there, they're just going to kill me. And he said, and the Mandalorian responds, that's kind of between you all. We're after this Imperial warlord. To which Rada the Hutt goes, oh, that's the guy who you just rescued me from. He's the Imperial
small
guy.
World, small universe. Yeah.
So Mandalorian goes and gets that guy, and then in exchange frees Rada the Hutt, and then goes back to the New Republic and gives them that guy. So that's like the main plot. And then like the Hutts seek revenge, and that's the rest of the movie.
Yes.
Riddle me this.
Okay, go on.
Explain that to me. Because at the end of the movie, the New Republic attacks the Hutts because they find out from the Imperial warlord that the Hutts were playing the New Republic and were just feeding information to the Empire all along. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
If the Hutts were already working with that Imperial warlord guy who had the nephew captured, why did they send the Mandalorian to go free him from someone that they were already working with?
Yeah, why did the guy just kill Rada? I guess he was going to kill Rada. So yeah, if the Hutts did nothing, Rada would have been killed in the Djarik match.
But if they're working with him, like when they tie that little bow at the end to explain why the New Republic attacked the Hutts, I'm just like, you just like, I don't understand that why this movie happened now.
Yeah. And I got to remark on that line though, because I think you quoted it verbatim for what Sigourney Weaver says. She's like, oh, they were double crossing us, so that's why we killed everyone and blew them all up. Because otherwise it seemed so weird that the New Republic would come to rescue Mando and just destroy everything in existence there. But
just say hi to Travis. He's watching.
Hey, Travis.
What's up?
What's going on? Yeah, because if you think about it, if they could have just told the guy, hey, kill Rada, make it look like an accident, and all is well. And then we'll give you more information about the New Republic. It's thin. It's very thin. It's very, I don't want to say TV show-esque kind of plot, but.
Yeah. To me, it feels like one of the Mandalorian side quest episodes that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, 100%. Like the Egg Lady one.
The Egg Lady. That's what we should be. Instead of comparing this against other Star Wars movies, we should treat it as an episode and see where it stacks up.
Yeah.
I want to do you have any more on your list? Because I want to get two things in, and then we're running short on time, so we talk about good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have anything specific. There's a lot of like little nitpicky things that like I kind of just don't understand. And I will also just say that the scene where the Mandalorian becomes incapacitated and Grogu has to take care of him, time stands still during that part of the movie, which I timed it the second time.
Did you?
It was 13 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's way shorter than I thought it was going to be.
But it's still long.
Yeah. When I saw it a second time, I waited to make my bathroom break. I'm like, okay, here we go. Time to get out while he was digging his ditch there.
Yeah, and to what Travis is saying here, that yeah, that's absolutely how they knew to go back then. But then after the fight scene, when the Mandalorian is talking to the Sigourney Weaver character, and he goes, "Why did you come get me? That wasn't part of the plan." And then they explained that they were okay with that, with coming to attack them, because the Imperial warlord said, "Hey, they're the Hutts are double dealing on you anyway." So they were obviously not their actual friends, so they were okay to attack them.
Yeah.
And again, that kind of just like unravels the movie for me.
Yeah. Otherwise, like an offensive like that by the New Republic would just be like just counter to their mission, I think. But all right. So I just have my list is really just a couple things. We talked about the video gamey thing. We talked a little about the Razor Crest, where I felt like that could have been a big moment. That should have been a big moment, and he should have got it. Like he should have had to take that by force from someone. Yeah, and I thought like maybe escaping the Hutts. Maybe the Hutts were the one that had vintage vehicle collections, not some random guy we don't know. Yeah. And that he's got to hot wire it and get out of it. Maybe they found it instead of the gunship in the swamp, but it was all too easy, and that was it. Okay, he's got it back. Great. But the couple things, and these are weird. The Mandalorian says it a couple times to Grogu. He tells him, "Heal."
Yeah, treating him like a pet. I also did not like that.
That made no sense, right? Like that was so bizarre. It really changed the dynamic of their relationship from father and son to, hey, you are my pet. I don't know why he did that. That was just weird writing, or maybe there's another reason. Another thing I didn't like was the taking off of the helmet thing. And this is something I was hoped they were to go into when Bo-Katan said to him, like, "Oh, you're a child of the Watch," the whole cult thing. We never got another beat on that.
Right? Not really. Other than like bathing in the waters of Mount Olympus, hits the rewind button. Yeah, so it's weird to me that that's still like a thing, that even when Grogu was taking care of him, he didn't take his helmet off. Like I thought that was so strange. And then he had to tell I like that he told the Hutts, like, "It's okay if I kill you, since you've seen my face." I'm like, okay, that was amusing. But I think but that whole scene only exists just to remind you, oh yeah, Pedro's in this movie.
Yeah. But I like that he has I didn't notice it the first time, but it's the credits are Pedro Pascal, then the suit performer is second, and then the Mandalorian stunt performer is third. So kudos to getting them top billing, but it just tells you that Pedro was not there. It was the other dudes carrying the armor. The heel felt too gamey at time, Razor Crest, and the helmet thing. Those were my things that kind of stood out to me. I didn't mind Rada. I was surprised that he was so much of the movie, but
it didn't bother you that I think you could probably just replace his vocal track with Tobias from Arrested Development, and that would essentially,
I want to see all the edits. I will say this was the first Star Wars thing that, at least the Star Wars movie that we watched, or I don't even know to call it a movie. Go ahead.
I will say I think Travis makes a good point here, that I agree with this a lot, that each episode finds a way to make him less a child of the Watch and more of a person who's connecting to someone else. And I agree with that. He shoots everything. Yeah. A lot of what I was watching, I felt like a lot of the fight scenes reminded me of the way they do fight choreography in Daredevil. That kind of like one person against a billion people, like long extended shots of them. Yeah. And I agree. It did feel kind of robotic, and it did feel kind of like he regressed a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like you could also see where it was episodes. Like, oh, episode 1, track down the warlord on this ice planet. Episode 2 at the base. I don't know. Would you think you would have enjoyed it more if it was a TV show? If they did a season 4?
If it was some episodes in a larger season that went somewhere, yeah, I do. If it was just this, if they just broke this into 4 episodes and said, "Hey, we're doing a short season," I'd be pretty disappointed with it.
Got it.
You know, and again, my biggest problem with like the stakes issue or the scale issue is the fact that they didn't do anything with Thrawn. And granted, I do love that character more than, you know, a lot of people. He is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, but he's back in that part of the galaxy, and you'd think they'd want to sort of build that, because this is a movie. It's not the TV show. Why aren't they doing a little more?
And I thought they were. I thought the movie experience was supposed to tie everything together. Is there another movie that's going to do that? Or
I don't know if they're doing it anymore. There was supposed to be something like that with Thrawn being the big bad, but I don't know. I was really just sort of disappointed with it. But I know you wanted to talk about the stuff that you liked. And again, let's also keep in mind that even though Alan's agreeing with me on some of this stuff, Alan liked the movie. Like
I did,
and I didn't hate it. I just don't like it that much.
Yeah, I think I needed to see it that first time, and that level set expectations, and then I was able to enjoy it watching it a second time for just the spectacle of it. But yeah, and it's unfortunate that you can like Travis saying, we're saying there's no Mando didn't grow, like nothing happened. Grogu had his moment where he had to take care of Mando, but it's not like he rose to a particular challenge, right? He just kind of nursed
other
him
than
back
hut building.
Yeah, no, that was good. He built a good hut.
But he got the dimensions completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, well, because he probably built it for Pedro, and the suit performer was probably taller. So yeah, it's like he didn't know. That's good. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I had a good time. But I'm curious now, where do we go from here? Like, is the Mandalorian story just told? Like,
how could it be told? Like, there's so much stuff from season 3 that was unresolved regarding like all of the Mandalorian culture stuff.
Yeah. Like, so do we go back to TV? Do we do another movie? Like, what's going to happen?
I don't know. But again, I want the larger story to be told. Like, I'm really glad that there's another season of Ahsoka coming, because I think that's going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting to move that universe forward.
Yep.
But I don't know where we go from here.
Yep. Well,
I mean, I will say the one thing I will say is nothing in this movie happens that could ruin any other plans, because it is such a self-contained, nothing happening adventure that it does not matter to the grander story. So if there's a bigger story to tell, they don't have to change nothing because of this movie.
No, except season 4, they'll just be he'll have his Razor Crest back. That's I said, that's the only significant change there. But
more stuff happened in those 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett than happened in this movie.
But here, riddle me this one. Do you think that Mando and Grogu could ever go their separate ways and have their own stories?
I don't really care.
No.
Sure.
Would you go see a Grogu movie?
I mean, if he talks, maybe, but if it's just him hanging out with those little monkey minion things, no.
Got it. Yeah.
Which, by the way, what was their big plan going to Nal Hutta in a ship that was the size of a surfboard? Like, are they just like idiots?
Well, I guess they went to go get their friend, who luckily was okay, and they got him immediately. It was barely an inconvenience. Let's see. So I made notes. I don't want the story to be told. I want more Mandalorian adventures. I liked having the TV shows because it helped me survive the week. Right? You always had that something to look forward to once a week, and I think there's a lot of fun stories they could still tell with these characters. But I don't know if I don't know. They needs to be more than just a self-contained thing like this. It needs. I want to see these characters grow, evolve, and maybe Grogu grows up and he's like Rada the Hutt next time. He's like all jacked. But
I still kind of feel like they had a story up to the end of season 2 where Luke comes and gets Grogu. And then I feel like they were just like, well, I guess we got to keep making these.
Yeah. You imagine season 1 as a movie? Like how insane would that have been?
No, they're crazy.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
What's
But anyway, you said
what,
you wanted to
Go
talk
ahead.
about the stuff you liked.
Yeah, but I think we're kind of coming up on time, so I was there's nothing that I can pinpoint. It was just fun to watch, good eye candy, fun action, something that I could get another giant bucket of popcorn and sit back and enjoy. But I'm curious to I'm not really sure what's our next Star Wars movie together. Like,
The
what do we
Starfighter.
see? Is that still happening? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's done. Like I think
Oh, is
I
it
think
cool?
they've filmed it already.
Do you prefer the Star Wars in theaters or on TV? Like if you had your pick.
I mean, as a viewing experience, that's kind of an odd thing. Like, do I prefer TV shows versus movies? I mean, nothing's as good as those first 3 movies. Like those. Like, would Empire Strikes Back have been better if it was a TV show?
I don't mean that. I
don't.
mean, how do you prefer your flavors of Star Wars? Do you prefer
I'm getting there.
okay?
Like, do I think that The Empire Strikes Back would have been better as a TV show? I don't. Is The Mandalorian better as a movie? It's not. So I think it kind of depends on the story they're trying to tell.
Sure. Yeah, I just mean like, where does Disney go? Do they keep pumping out shows on Disney Plus, or do they try to keep bringing these these big screen adventures to us? I don't think.
Well, they've already done another big screen adventure, and there's at least one more show happening. So they're kind of doing both. Where it lands is going to depend on where they think they can make the most money. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't really, I don't think it really matters about the artistic endeavors they're trying to accomplish. I think it's where do they think they're going to be able to get the most bang for their buck. And the finances of movies and the finances of a recurring show on a streaming service, they're very different things. So I don't know. They're probably going to just keep their fingers in everything, but they probably make more money on movies, I would think. So I think they want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know that a season 4 would bring in as many Disney Plus subscribers, right? As a quick box office payout.
Who doesn't have that wants it?
Yeah.
Now, granted, you do have to make people keep it. That is part of the equation, but
Season 4. Well, I hope we see more. Looking forward to more. Like whatever movies they come up with, I'm enjoying the bulk of it. I think the Shadow Lord was great. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And again, like if you want to compare this movie to like the other Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus, like Maul was better. But Andor, you can't even touch Andor.
Well, Andor is in a league of its own there. Yeah.
I liked The Acolyte better than this because I thought The Acolyte told more of a story. I'd argue about Skeleton Crew because that's another one of those ones that I think you liked a lot more than I did. And while I liked it, I don't know that it was necessarily better or worse than this. It was just sort of another one of those things that's like, that's okay.
Yeah. Skeleton Crew was a fun adventure. This to me really was like, it was a 2-hour episode of The Mandalorian. No stakes, no nothing.
I think Skeleton Crew could have made a better movie than a show. I feel like if you trimmed that up and like upped the wow factor a little bit, I think there's enough climactic stuff happening in that show that would have made a good movie. And I think it would have tightened up the pacing a little bit.
Sure. No, I could see that. I think when they wrote this, they wrote a story of just things happening, but not people really doing, or like people, the characters being much more than shooting people, like Travis was saying. But
I do before we go, I do have to say the 3 positive things that I wrote down because I did think about this. So one, I really liked the mini rig that was in the AT-AT in the opening scene. I really enjoyed that. I really like the design of the Nal Hutta escort ships. I think those are really cool looking spaceships. Yes. And I did really like seeing the Amanaman.
Amanamans? They were men's. Yeah.
I like
seeing some might have been women's, so I don't know.
Yeah. I liked seeing those.
Yeah, that was definitely a deep cut because if I didn't know, I don't know that I would have recognized them right away. Like if they didn't say Amanamens, release the Amanamens. And I don't know that they really released them, but I guess no, they did. But he made short work of them. They were
Make short work of everybody.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good. I'm glad there were at least some positives. And yeah, I did like those ships too, how they came out of the launch tube, very Battlestar Galactica there. Yeah. I don't know. Well, they tried. I just hope this isn't the end. I hope we do see more of these characters because there's more.
We'll see what happens. So I guess we should probably wrap up. And I think we'll be back again next. Our schedule has been a little wacky lately. But I think we'll probably be back next week. And even though it seems a little odd to do 2 movies in a row, we are overdue for the Rewind Club because that was supposed to be last week. So that you've got some UHF you need to watch. Yes,
and I've got some time to sit and watch. I will be on a flight, so I'll be on 2 flights. So yeah, and it's already apparently it's on free with Amazon now, so that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to watching it. Yes, so next week UHF Rewind.
So everybody go and watch that so it's fresh in your mind, and also because it's an excellent movie, and I'm really excited for Alan to see it for the first time in decades.
So it's been a long time.
I'm looking forward to that because I watch that movie at least once or twice a year. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I started reading the description of it, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember some of this, but it's been a long time. So, cool. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll see everybody next time.
Cheers.
Perfectly excellent.